welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Square Enix has confirmed that Final Fantasy VII's remake is on track. In fact, it's always been on track. There were rumors about Kingdom Hearts 3 derailing the project and focusing all the attention on that until it went gold, but that actually wasn't true. There was a team working on Final Fantasy VII the entire time Kingdom Hearts 3 was in production, at least according to Square. JT. It's been one hell of a ride for Final Fantasy VII's remake, from rumors of cancellation and completely changing teams, firing an entire department, creative differences, tons of disagreements within Square Enix organization on the direction of where they should take Final Fantasy VII's remake. The path of seeing the actual game come to fruition felt like it was a lost cause. It honestly didn't feel like it was ever going to happen. But recently, Square Enix has come forth via Hokanko and has announced that the game has always been on track. All those rumors about the game being put on hold because of Kingdom Hearts 3 and they wanted to put all the attention on that was false. They said that was just something that Square Enix corporate was doing to make sure that the marketing was able to fully focus on Kingdom Hearts 3. Because I guess they were worried about the public perception and looking at Kingdom Hearts 3 and saying, we don't want that because you got a better game coming down the road, supposedly. Whatever they were thinking, none of that was true. Final Fantasy VII was always on track. I find that very hard to believe, but this is coming directly from Square Enix. Producer Koshinoro Katase had announced that development on Final Fantasy VII's remake is progressing smoothly, and following that the confirmation that 2019 would share numerous reveals. I would like to try hard to meet the expectations of the fans. Which sounds great on the surface, but what exactly are the expectations of the fans? I feel like that's a topic that nobody's really taken the time to dive into. Everybody is all over the place with what they want out of this game, and when it comes to remakes and remasters and HD remixes and completely changing a game that you fell in love with as a child and upgrading it to modern day standards, what people expect out of that game is going to be vastly different from asking one person to a different, because all their expectations are based off of their childhood, what they remembered of the game, and what they'd want to bring into the new generation and how they've experienced games going forward. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with Final Fantasy VII in the first place, so managing the expectations of the fans for Final Fantasy VII is a fairly impossible task to do. Pile that on top of what Square Enix had said they're doing with Final Fantasy VII, making it episodic with their releases of the content, not completing the game and selling it as a package, but selling it per episode, which is a huge turnoff for me personally, and I know a ton of people out there as well agree with that. They want the full game. They don't want to play it in episodes. That's not what they had to do with the original game. Now, granted, the graphics of this look absolutely spectacular, but then we heard a rumor that the graphics that we saw, they actually canceled it because they didn't like what it looked like, and they're revamping it from the ground up yet again. So we don't even know what the game truly is going to look like at this point. Hopefully something like what they've shown already, but there's nothing proving that right now. Which brings me to the main point of this video is, what is the point of the Final Fantasy VII remake? Why do people actually want this? And I am included when I'm asking this, because when I first heard that Final Fantasy VII remake was actually happening, I was that dude in the crowd and getting super excited. I was with him 100%. I couldn't have been more excited about this because Final Fantasy VII is easily in my top 5 games of all time, but I don't know if I actually want a remake of it. I don't know what they could do to it to make me be excited about it. The actual idea of it was more interesting than the reality of the game, at least up to this point. Now, this is before Square Enix has actually shared any meaningful information about the game, but right now, at this point in time, I'm finding it very challenging to get excited about a game that I already have, that I've already played a gazillion times, and that I've already maxed out all my characters, beaten all the end bosses, found all the secrets. It's really hard to get excited about a remake for that game because I know they're going to screw it up somehow, and I'll be frustrated about some of the decisions that the development team makes with it. Whether it's how they're changing the random battle system to being a real-time battle, or how they're doing the episodic content, or what the graphics look like, if they change the storyline up. The magic of Final Fantasy VII actually retains some of the ability to have the imagination to have the world in your head. With better graphics and all the storyline, having them read it to you, it's going to change the feeling of the game. And I don't want to sound like the old man with a cane on my porch saying, oh, games were better when we were kids, but there's something to be said for using your imagination and not letting the graphics fill in all the gaps for you. Being able to imagine the world in your head on what's going on behind the scenes really made the player feel far more a part of the world than many of the games do today, especially when you're able to compare it to a game that already existed. I also have concerns over loot boxes, loot crates, any other kind of microtransactions or monetization of the game in addition to the episodic content. That's a scary proposition, so much so that I'm not going to be getting this game day one. I really don't have any excitement to do so. Unless the reviews come out and it's completely spectacular and totally worth the money, I'm gonna hold off until all the episodes are out and they have a Game of the Year edition, and I'll buy that, assuming it has good reviews, which is a very bad look for a company if they're trying to sell a game to people, and a lot of people take that approach of, I'll just wait. Why would I jump on this game right now if I've waited 15, 20 plus years for this game in my life? I think I can wait a year for the rest of the game to come out and get it at a good discount. There's no real rush in my mind to run out and get this game the second it's available. And I hope I'm on an island with that, but something tells me there's a lot of people with that mindset. And I wonder if that's going to have an impact on the sales for this game and if it's going to ultimately fail, no matter how good the game actually ends up being. But regardless of all of that, Final Fantasy VII has been confirmed to be on track in development by Square Enix themselves, and 2019 is going to be the year that they show off a lot more details about this game. I personally wonder if they're going to change any of the storyline, if they're going to add more DLC to the game and modernize it completely, or if it's going to really do a good job of harkening back to the original. I have a ton of concerns with this, just like any game that's getting remade. Hopefully it's done right and done well, but until we actually see it, there's nothing I can really get excited about. But let me know how you guys feel about Final Fantasy VII's Remake. Are you interested in this game, or do you plan on holding off until the whole thing comes out at once, and assuming the reviews are good, then you'll jump on it at that point? Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, have a good one.